The management of this facility will make every effort to ensure that your experience here is comfortable and pleasant, just as the name suggests. Your safety is also our priority, so before you start your event, please take this time to listen to our evacuation process in the event of an emergency and some additional announcements. You are currently located in the main auditorium. All exits in this facility are clearly marked. There are two main exits in this main hall, one to your right, which leads to the car park, and the other behind you through the corridor which leads to the front of the building to Prince Albert Street. Do take this time to identify your nearest exit, as your exit may be behind you. In the event of an emergency, you are asked to leave the building immediately and in an orderly manner to the designated muster point area or assembly point, which is located in the northeastern front corner of the car park. The muster point sign can be seen on the left of the main car park gate, opposite the building. Please be reminded that this is a smoke-free building. Washrooms. The main washroom area for the auditorium where you are seated is located just to your left. Just walk through the corridor and turn left or right. There are signs to guide you above the door. Additional washrooms are located downstairs the building. Just go through the exit door on your right, turn left onto the corridor and proceed down the stairs. In case of a power failure, you must remain calm and wait for further instructions. In closing, I welcome each and every one of you to return to the Pleasantville Community Center to host all your events here. If you have any questions or inquiries on how you can book the center, feel free to call the office on 610 PVCC, that is 610-7822, or email us on pvcc.tt@gmail.com. It would be nice if you can also like us on Facebook. Simply go to the Pleasantville Community Center page and click like. Feel free to invite your friends and family to do so also. Thank you for your attention and do enjoy your event. As always, we are here to make your experience great and look forward to seeing you soon. I now turn you back over to your host. Do have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Could you please stand so that we will recognize you? For double mic. Megan. Okay, you just give your name and who would you like to do and like to do.
My name is Purle, Purle Alexander, and after a number of years working at church, I think this exciting time. So I'm extremely excited. This is my husband. And we are here today with this.
Breaking news, last episode. I would have told you that I was taken to court by this young lady for the rape situation. Who remember that? When I won my case, I settled out of court. That's the final episode. Okay, could we kindly stand for the Ttarp prayer, please? We thank you for bringing us together this day. Be with us as we come in fellowship to discuss, plan, and implement our projects and events. We thank you for allowing us to enjoy our golden years together as we ask you for help, strength, wisdom, peace, and a grateful heart so that we can assist our fellow men. For activities today, take us home safely to our office so that we can praise and thank you. Amen. Could we remain standing, please, for our national anthem? Three milestones today. One is Diwali, is Cancer Month,
seems alright,
and soon will be Men's International Day. So we have lots of presenters who will be taking us through those events. So what I assume we do is address the Diwali situation first, where we would have a member of one of our members bring a short presentation on Diwali and how we celebrate in Trinidad. That would be followed by dance by singer. I don't know, singer was here. But anyway, then we have a presentation by Ms. Sherma Mills on cancer as it affects both men and women. And finally, Reverend Mark Samuel will talk about man and his importance and contribution to society. Other areas that we would need to mention is to offer some explanation as to the various activities that are going to be taking place over the next few weeks. I was very concerned about how this is going to work out and the rush in registration and all that stuff. But it seems to do things that will go quite well and civil. So I'm very pleased about that. So I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. The other thing that surprised and impressed me is to see female members that look at the tree last time, toting a case of water. I was so impressed. I think we need to give them a round of applause. We also want to recognize women members who are dressed in their special garments. And we may ask you to come and model for us on display. It's voluntary, we won't force it. But there may be prizes involved. So, without further ado, we ask Anna to come up and present to us Ms. Anna Wahis. Madam Secretary just reminded me that I forgot to mention the minutes and the treasurer's report. Secretaries and treasurer's report. So now we have the Secretary's report. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Good morning to everyone. I trust you are hearing me very clearly because I know initially there was a bit of a muffled sound, so I hope everybody can hear me clearly. Welcome to all, special welcome of course to our new members. Minutes for the general meeting with the Diamonds, Ttarp, San Fernando, held on Tuesday the 3rd of October 2023, 10:30 a.m. at Pleasantville Center. Present were 170 general membership, 14 of the executive management team, absent with Vice Chairman William Mackenzie and Committee Member Diane Philip. The OSHAC was read. The Chairman welcomed all, especially the 17 new members who then introduced themselves. The Ttarp prayer was read, followed by the singing of the anthem. The minutes of the last meeting were read, confirmed by Hazel Ignacio, and seconded by Hollis, Clifton. The Secretary to our coordinator then gave an explanation as to the limitations of the planned October trips to Parliament. Also changes to transportation method on large maxis that will now carry a capacity of 22 persons to allow for better comfort. Members were encouraged to maintain good discipline when boarding the maxis and during the outing. Welcome was given to Mr. Ronnie Roberts, Central South Zonal Representative, acting during Mr. Neville Navarro's absence. Mr. Roberts brought greetings from Ttarp head office and gave info on upcoming South Central Bingo fundraiser, targeted for Tuesday, 5th December at 1 p.m. God willing. This would include tickets, bingo tickets, $50, raffle, barbecue, and a pop-up market. All South Central zones would share equally in funds raised, so members were encouraged to support the venture. Ttarp continues to seek to source discount partners. Members can assist, and also membership growth is needed. The chairman then welcomed Donna Ashby on new registration, or member Donna in a new registration role at meetings. He noted that the community outreach project donation had gone to the wonderful RC school to needy students. Our next collection for the needy would be in December. Members were asked to suggest needy persons or groups. Purle Diamonds continue to give support to Marva Sandy, a member who was a recent victim of a home invasion. The chairman complimented members on their attendance and the task at the Ttarp Expo. It was extremely well supported by Purle Diamonds. The treasurer then read a report showing a closing balance of $15,807 at the end of September 2020. The manager of Pleasantville Community Center, Mrs. Roxanne George, apologized for the non-working air conditioned units and the results of heat discomfort. She extended an invitation to members to join the various classes put on by the center, such as Wednesday Clifton, Thursday computer class, Friday dance therapy. A yoga class is within on Tuesdays. Petra Williams reminded members that for Purle Diamond, line dance class continues on Mondays at 10:30. Eudora Saunders received a surprise gift randomly selected by the chairman. The chairman gave a brief talk on mental health in recognition of Mental Health Day, October 10th. He focused on the need for better state facilities and better management of afflicted persons. He noted that labels should be eradicated and a special need for home children who are affected with mental issues. He invited members to a Zoom meeting where he will host an international symposium on October 10th. Entertainment was then provided by Hezekiah Joseph, singer Calypsonian, and refreshments served. There being no further business, the meeting concluded at 12:10 p.m. Respectfully submitted, and Show Secretary, are there any omissions or corrections or persons who are here? Okay, then I need for someone who was here, two persons, one to confirm the minutes and one to second the confirmation. Patricia Hazelwood, confirmed and seconded. Norma James, seconded. Just for the chairman's permission, since I'm here to speak briefly, my role as coordinator of the outing. Now, I want to mention this because it is still news. For the first time, we never done this before, but because it was paramount, we had to do this. It couldn't accommodate all of them. It's normally go with about 5 large answers. But the first time, we had to split our meeting into two. And I don't remember asked one explanation, so I'm giving it. Somebody sent out a voice note and the individual is here. Making certain accusations of what we were better to. But when we started with the parliamentary, we were told we could only take 44 persons per trip. Okay, that's all. Because when we got to parliament, we had to go up the hill with 4 small maximums. Okay? Therefore, we had to limit the numbers. The accusation was that, and of course, we said only members, because we couldn't normally take non-members when we got trips. But we said only members because of the limitation. The accusation was that these hard-working persons like the door took non-members also. An accusation that turned out to be very untrue, like I said, it's still great, because we need to verify things before we see them. If we put on the post like that, you're using a group of persons with the wrong thing. Okay? This is very hard work, especially parliament, I'm sure. We had to do 2 trips, and we had to organize lunch, season, etc. It was a lot of work. So I want to commend all the persons who helped. I had about 5 or 6 persons over those 2 trips helping. Okay, because of people who were really I'm very, very grateful for that. You're coming out there, I know it's Christmas, everything is happening, lots of activities here and outside. Normally we do 2 mall hopping trips. Do one to the west, which will include West Malls, Ttarp, Long Circular, and we do one to the east, which will usually be Trinity City, by the way, and we do one up there. So all it up at that side is usually 2. So the trip we've been signing up for is the trip that we're going to in the 18th of February. So we are going to the mall in the west. Now I know, like I said, there are a lot of things you have to pay for today. It's coming at you faster than yours. Just to let you know that that activity is being planned. If, depending on what happens, the second trip to the east will most likely take place around the 16th or so in December. But you will hear about that before the next meeting. Okay? And that's basically what's going to happen. Last year, when we went on up with it, also were able to look with the parts of Ireland where they have their market. Okay? If that's possible this year, we will also have another raise to the camp. Nevertheless, if possible, we see if we go there before we get on the walls. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Could we give us some more encouragement, please? Come on. Now we will have our treasurer's report.
That means the $16,992.20. Prepared by Doreen Taylor Stevenson, Treasurer.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Perhaps we need to clear up certain issues now. What is the Flambeau de Camboy Masquerade Ball that Ms. Sharma posted to the group some time ago? The time start, I think, is about 8 p.m. and everyone is supposed to wear a mask. The cost, I think, is $450, and they were offering a special rate for 2 persons on 1 ticket, so that 2 persons for the cost of 1. So anyone of you interested could contact the person directly, or contact me and let the person know. But I don't think we have much time for that. I think it's next weekend. But I thought for what age group, something to start at 8 and go into the 8 hours in the morning, it wouldn't fit into our category. That is one. But there may be some adventurous persons who would want to take up the challenge. But one of the things they said is that, okay, you could bring along a younger person so they could take you home, guide you home safely. So, but I know there are no young people behind all this. And I can't see any young people wearing masks anyway. So that's one. The head office luncheon Xmas that is coming off on the 10th. The response has been extremely good. We may have about 2 maxis already, and this compensation for last year where we had about 2 or 3 members turning up. And we had to hide in a corner because other groups were coming with a band load and showing off, and but now we take it in front and we will show them who is boss. It will be important that we leave early, but there are lots of handouts, giveaways, goodies, and also we could secure a table close to the center of entertainment. So perhaps around 9 we will be here. 9:05. We must stop doing things as usual. Because if we have to catch a plane to go to New York, we cannot miss our flight. Stop being complacent. The other thing is our meeting on the 5th of December.
Yeah.
It's going to be a short meeting. because of the use of the facility here for the bingo. I mean, it's a bit inconvenient for the persons who want to come and enjoy a full-length meeting. But in some cases, sacrifices got to be made. So there will be 5 zones converging here, or representatives from 5 zones converging here on December the 5th at 1 p.m. to engage in a bingo activity. There will be other activities like a pop-up market where members could bring their stuff and sell, and according to the profits they may offer a percentage to the organization. But the emphasis is for the member to make a few dollars. There will also be pre-ordered barbecue, chicken barbecue, I don't understand, at the cost of $45. And the tickets, as you may know by now, it's $50 for 2 tickets, 2 free tickets, and 3 extra tickets for $20. Now, we will be given 60 tickets. And this is open to members of the public as well. So the quicker you grab your tickets, it's the better for us. According to how large the crowd is, we will need to look at putting up some tents on the outside. So that's generally the meeting in December in collaboration with the bingo. Now, Purle Diamonds Christmas is not getting off to a good start as it usually is. One, because of the delay in getting information out, and we reached a stage where the executives had to make a decision on your behalf. It should be so, but in the interest of speeding up time and getting the information here today to you, the executive decided that the Radisson would be the better option. And as you will know, the cost of tickets is $400, which include transport. Did I hear somebody say that good? I hope they have a big belly. So let me just explain the bingo. 6 games, 1 jackpot. There will be no monies involved. There will be 3 hampers for the jackpot, and each jackpot, or each prize in the jackpot, 3 prizes in the jackpot, there will be ham and turkey and drinks. That's a huge jackpot for $50. So that is the main, that's the main explanation. Anyone would have any other question they would want to ask? Apologies for not getting you involved in decision making as to where we should go, where we should attend for our Christmas do, but hopefully this is a one-off. Any questions? Yes. Well, there was a comparison between Radisson and Purle Street, which we've been to before. But because of certain eventualities, Radisson was the preferred option because what they were offering. Any other question?
What is the plan for the Christmas function at Radisson?
Is it the cost of the time? From 11 a.m. Mind you, if we need to get there for 11, we need to probably be here by 9. We all know December is a tough month as far as all the money going out and not much coming in. Thank God is only once a year. I can live with that. Only just. Okay, the other question. Also to remind you, there are lots of jerseys of your still needs to be collected.
Okay, the jerseys are here. Don't be lucky and covered. Come and get it, come and get it. Raffle, raffle, raffle.
Okay. Let's get it. Okay, we will now have Miss Anna Mahez. They only mentioned chicken barbecue because I think it's most convenient, and fish and other stuff might incur more expenses. But I'll put it to them and hear what they're viewing. Okay, Anna. Could you bring her with a round of applause? And you know it's not easy to come up on the stage to have all those eyes zooming in on you. So we need a louder force of applause. Come on.
Michael. Over here. Italian, huh?
Carolina. Okay, alright, good. Well, all I know about Diwali is you get food to eat, you get sweets. Long ago, the bank used to give out Purle and sweets, and somebody would come and say, you know, in the bank you get them today, but I run and go in. With sweets. Then you go now, this modern times, you're getting music, you're getting dancing, the city hall, and everywhere. So I go in again, and that's all I know about Diwali. Diwali morning, you get up and you light beer. And that's it. As I get a little older and I do a little research, I learned there is a lot more to Diwali. So, I did a thesis. Yes. Okay. We can start with a blessed good day and Mother Lakshmi blessings to all. Diwali greetings. The topic of the day and this period of the year is Diwali. Diwali can be traced back to thousands of years in ancient India. The meaning of Diwali is Rose of Lights. It is derived from the word Deepa Wali. Deepa signifies light, and the word Wali is rose. So you have Rose of Lights. Diwali is celebrated on the 15th day of Ttarp, and that coincides with the new moon, and the new moon is the darkest night. So Diwali is on the darkest night, and Ttarp is one either October, November, which is the holiest period in the Hindu calendar. Diwali is a celebration of Mother Lakshmi. Mahalakshmi holds a special in the heart of those celebrating Diwali. Example, spiritual wealth, light over darkness, good over evil. Diwali is a celebration of the Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of light, wealth, and prosperity. In addition to lighting rows of clay lamps or diyas, other events includes fireworks, starlight, firecrackers, and bursting of balloons. It is said that these crackers and bright lights get over the evil spirits. Really tell audience a thesis. So primarily, the festival commemorates when Lord Ram returned to Ayodhya after 14 years in exile. During this exile, he defeated the demon king. Now, some of you may have missed the line when I said, after 14 years of exile. That is where 14 come in and play away for money. 14. If somebody will play away. That was a joke. So, and when Lord Ram returned after this 40 years, the people were overjoyed. They were lighting fireworks and they were expressing joy over despair, light over darkness, and good over evil. Diwali is celebrated. We may not be so aware in Trinidad. However, Diwali is celebrated for 5 consecutive days during this month. On the first day is dedicated to Lord Kubir, and Lord Kubir is the god of wealth and abundance. People believe that acquiring material possession gives them blessings, and material possession could go as far as a frying pan, a pot, or anything that you use, a utensil, or anything that you use, and you know you buy it on this special day that you think you get blessings every time you use it, you will think of it. The second day is called Choti Bahu. This marks the triumph of the Lord Krishna. Most of you may know Lord Krishna, that's the one with the flute, and he sees about the cow. The cow is always close to him. So people like playing lamps on this day to dispel darkness, both symbolically and spiritually. Lord Krishna is protector of cow, therefore attention is given to the sacred cows on this day. On the third day, that is what we know. That is where we clean the house. We have been cleaning since when? Days before. When we clean the house, we open the window. This is the third day of Diwali, to welcome Mother Lakshmi. On this day, the main day of the celebration, families decorate their homes. You have bright lights, you have diyas, and families get together on this day with fireworks that illuminates the sky, the night sky, bright sky, illuminate that. They share gifts, families share gifts, sweets, spreading joy and happiness. On the fourth day, prayers and thanks to Lord Krishna in the era when he protected his people. So, as a symbol of gratitude for protecting the people, the villagers then seek the blessing for a bountiful harvest by preparing food and sharing. The fifth day, I had mentioned before that we have 5 days of celebration. On the fifth day, the final day, we have the bond shared between brothers and sisters. Sisters visit and pray for brothers' well-being, and they perform arti. You would know what is arti, I guess. That's you pass the day, yes, the day around. Okay. So they perform arti for their brothers. This marks the love and affection they have for their brothers. It's important sibling relationship, love and support. Anybody lost? So it's still following me. Diwali symbolizes the inner light that protects us from spiritual darkness. It holds a significant importance for the entire nation, wherein it represents the triumph of good over evil and the significance of new beginnings. In conclusion, Diwali celebration is more than a festival. It represents the celebration of lights, the triumph of goodness, the strengthening of family bonds, the importance of unity, love, and eradication of darkness from our lives. This joyous celebration holds immense cultural, religious, and social importance. Let us embrace the spirit of joy, gratitude, and prosperity. I pray that what situation you may be in, that Mahalakshmi Mata remove whatever negative that comes your way. She lights your life with brightness. Shubh Diwali. I humbly thank you.
And she demanded that I give her a doctorate for that thesis. Because she deserved it. Wow.
What's up, Doc?
Right. Very good. Let's give another round of applause. Very nice. With such confidence. So, in continuing in that vein, we would have the dancer who is here today, Shina. Okay, let's bring Sheena on to come on with applause.
It's Sheila or Susila? Not Susila. Wow.
once again gracing us with your presence as we observe the one. On behalf of Purple Diamonds, we appreciate your coming here and we're giving you a little children.
Moving swiftly across, we will now have a presentation on cancer as it affects both women and men. And to introduce our next speaker, we have Ms. Siberan giving an introductory. Or an introduction.
Just a little short introduction. Good morning.
Fully my drama bitch.
Clinical manager and team leader, educator. Okay. So I have to start over.
No! Run with your gesto!
Educator of Tobago Cancer Society. Ms. Shumamel served as a quality assurance office at the National Radio Therapy Center at St. James. Also, clerical assistant, healthcare service at Solary, and many more in the health service. Ms. Sherman holds a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing from the University of the West Indies, medical services facility, and also successful internship at the Royal Marsden Hospital in Chelsea, USA. Having served 30 years in medical arena, we all would like to welcome Ms. Shoma Mills, Sarah.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. It was a little overwhelming, but we need that conversation a little bit better. So I hope that you will appreciate the conversation on cancer. And I also have some brochures that you will get some information as well as to quote the small conference. Thank you again for inviting me. Cancer causes every day. And as Ms. Moran said, I'm the clinic manager and TV dedicated to the Cancer Society. But I started off as a clerical assistant in San Fernando General, probably in 1990. I went into this in 1992. So I'll be celebrating 31 years in this lovely profession. Keep me in prayer. Okay, I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly when it comes to this disease, but we must always remember that we have a purpose. Everyone's journey is different, and we just have to trust even though we don't understand the way and sometimes the things that happen when we hear about cancer. I have two watchwords or two icebreakers before we do any of the sessions, and I want you to repeat after me, please. Okay? Okay? Cancer is the abnormal multiplication of cells. So that's a definition for cancer, because I'm sure that you've put up all cancers, but it will explain to us why we get cancer in all these different places that we hear about 100 different diseases that we call cancer. Alright, my icebreakers. Pain is an indication that something is wrong. Pain is an indication that something is wrong. And that Ms. Mills are sure is a gas leak, and they're pulling all over, but it's gas. So after you drink all the tea and the orange peel, now we have to get down to business. The pain is not going, so something is wrong. Nice. So with breast cancer, one of the main takeaways from this session is doing something called the breast self-examination that all of us can do. And happily, if you're not having a cycle, even better. Because everything about us as females and males, no males and females, is hormone. The hormonal influence when it comes to this disease. Right? And the screening for you continues. Not just because we've reached retirement. Now self-we have to take care of ourselves. They say once a man, twice a child. So now self-we like a baby again as we cross 50. Right? They have to be more effort to remain healthy. So whatever comes, you must be in the top of health in order to combat this disease successfully. What we do at the Cancer Society, we do screening. Right? We do education, that's why I'm here. And we offer screening at the clinic, which is mammograms, cervical screening, ultrasounds, and prostate screening as well. Alright? And these are some of the services that we provide. We have a hospice called Vita's House. And the buses that you see on the road, we transport patients from San Fernando to the National Radiotherapy Center where I spent the last of my government service. And we also moved from the east to the NRC as well, because National Radiotherapy Center is the only place in Trinidad and Tobago that does radiation. So at all the other centers, oncology, San Fernando, Brandy, all over, we have chemotherapy. But that's the only center that offers radiation treatment, which is another treatment for cancer. So if you want to start, we already said what the definition was, but one of the main things is doing the breast self-examination. So each person that even handles supposed to practice how to do the breast self-examination, using the fingers, the balls of the fingers, and examining the breast in clockwise direction. Please do that for yourself at least once a month. The importance of it, you must know what normal breast feels like, and males get breast cancer. I have two personal friends who are breast cancer survivors. Right? They don't have all the female boobs and all the fancy stuff that we have, but they have a chest hole and a nipple, and for us in the clinical field, we call it the male breast. Alright, so you're not just looking around farmer and around boobs and all over the place. It's just anatomically we call the chest area and the nipple the male breast. So you do the self-breast examination, that's what we do. Now we have something called the look test. So the self-breast examination is what you can feel. So if you feel any discomfort, any abnormality, the conversation starts. It doesn't mean that something is wrong to indicate that it's cancer, but not every abnormality will equal cancer. And you don't claim the worst, regardless of what the situation are. You have the conversation with your physician, with your nurse, and let them guide you, let them navigate you as to what is required now. So if you feel the discomfort, you head to your doctor, not Dr. Google. Alright? You fancy technical, not Dr. Google. You head to your health center, you head to your medical doctor, who will guide you and push for that. Alright? So again, with the self-breast examination, so now you look, when you look test, you stand in front of the mirror and you look at the breast tissue, both males and females, right? And you're looking for changes in the size of the breast. You're looking for discoloration. You're looking for irritation. You're looking for any swelling, any lump. Sometimes the lumps are pronounced. Right? So you do the look test and then you do the field test, which is the breast self-examination, and going clockwise direction. So when you come to us, you can give us some clinical case report. So listeners, I felt a lump patriarchal, because everything in life is about order. Alright? So please practice doing the self-breast examination for yourself. Look in the mirror and there's symmetry. Everything is sameness. So the nipples are out, but they're not inverted. If they're inverted, some persons that's their normal. Right? But for me, that's one of the signs that will tell you that you need to have some examinations and a conversation almost immediate. Right? So what tests we are required for you at this time? Once you're over 40, we start you with a mammogram. And then we move on to something called the breast ultrasound. A mammogram is a picture of the breast. The breast ultrasound is a sonogram and actually goes through the density in the breast, which increases with age. Right? So as you get older, the density increases, which gives you susceptibility of things to hide. So sometimes you might not feel a lump, but it's there because density increases with age. We have two growths that we normally feel with two lumps. One is the fibroadenoma, one is the fibrocystic growth. Right? They are both abnormal lumps and we need to investigate further. Long and wide can tell you, well, okay, when you invest, it doesn't feel right. But these feel normal, but cancer replicates DNA, which is your blueprint. So you can hang out anybody as a friend and it's really an enemy. So now we have to do diagnostic tests, aka mammograms and breast ultrasounds, to ensure what we are seeing, what it is. So we move on from that if we find any abnormal findings. So normally you will have, if you see anything, any growth, any microcalcifications which are overactive cells, you will get to do the ultrasound. So the mammogram first. Yes, some persons say it's a discomfort, and remember that it's something that can save your life. Right? If you lose pain, people pain threshold different. Some people from the time they reach by the doctor, their blood pressure going up. What do you tell me then? As they reach in the office, why your pressure so high? And nobody will touch you yet. You can sign up your phone. Alright, but as a normal reaction when you come in clinical settings, have to take less notice. Alright? So the mammogram and the breast ultrasounds are the first line screening that we advise. If you have to do biopsies, we do biopsies in two forms, which are the final aspiration, we call it the FME, and we have something called a trupel biopsy. We both take cells from those lumps that I just described and send it for testing. So we can come back with two reports. It's a fibroadenoma. Yeah? It's a fibrocystic breast, and worst case scenario, we have a malignancy, breast cancer. Alright, so that's some of the reports that we can get after the biopsy. So now in terms of treatment, we have here in Trinidad and Tobago, and yes, we do have trained professionals, both doctors and nurses, who are trained in cancer care. And the service and the medication that we use is on par with what's abroad, because they've sent us, the government has sent us to do training abroad. So I'm 8 years in management, but I'm also working usually with the persons who get diagnosed, because those are the persons that we need to help navigate the system so that we don't get frustrated. Alright, so that's one of my new roles, to help navigate the ones who want to be diagnosed and their family. Because you as a caregiver is equally important to the success of the treatment that your relative gets when they come down with this disease. So we have treatment modalities. We have chemotherapy, which everyone knows is the cocktail in the IV bag. We have radiation, we have something called hormonal therapy, and we also have radiation. Radiation can take many forms. We have linear and we have broadbeam radiation. Again, targeted to control the cancer. But the main lesson, early detection, is the best protection that you have against any disease, not just cancer. My grandparents, my great-granny and granny had diabetes. So I was already regimented in a household that I knew that I need to push pressure. So you need not claim, but the most important thing is to sit down and discuss what the family has, so that you can be prayerful, yes, but vigilant and be watchful. Because we know at any point in time, disease is a specter of no, but prevention is still better than cure. So what we do in terms of staging, once the person is diagnosed, is the size of the tumor, if there are any nodes involved, because the breast tissue has its own defense system, which is under the arm. So anything goes wrong here, whether it's infection, inflammation, or blood forbid cancer, these nodes start to activate. So you might feel a little seed. Right? It could be because of many other things, but again, remember the conversation with your doctor will guide you. Go run for the hills, and the hills say, we gotta go fast. And say, conversation needs to start with your medical doctor. Alright? Because he will have your family history, your medical history, your surgical history, and be able to make a sensible assessment as to where to send you next for screening. So again, please remember, this is what you know, this is the time where you take care of you more. The theme for this year of breast cancer awareness worldwide is taking care of her. So tell your neighbor, taking care of her. Just look at your neighbor and say, taking care of her. Taking care of her. And it means that you must pay more attention to the significant females in your life. Be a sister's keeper. Right? Your friends in here like they are pain, don't want them orange peel, so let me go by the doctor. We can drink tea when we come home from by the doctor, by regular tea and coffee. Yeah. But please, any pain, head to the doctor first. It can make a difference between saving your life and wasting time when you do something really important. Right? So we discussed what the diagnosis or the definition means, which is abnormal cells and malignancies. So once you identify a cancer, it is a malignant. Malignancy means it has the ability to move from one place to the other. We call it metastasis, it just means spread. It can move from a breast cancer to a brain cancer, pick back and go all over your body. So that's the difference between a cancer cell and a normal benign cell, which is non-cancerous. And it could be life-threatening. If we don't get it early and it affects other organ systems, it presents a challenge. Not to say that we cannot treat in everything, but what's important is getting it early so that we can cure it. It makes a difference between taking out a lump and what for the habit to remove a breast. Right? So if you detect anything, the earlier you move action will determine we can have cure for this cancer. You can just remove the lump, we cover you with chemotherapy, and you just continue routine screening. Some persons have a lumpectomy, and that's all because we covered all the margin as the cancer was at stage 0. So there's no possibility that the cancer will spread. But again, it is dependent on how early we catch disease before it spreads to other areas in the body. And again, remember to keep healthy at this point in time. You know, making sure your vitamins and minerals. Make sure and have those, have your balanced diet. Make sure you have fruits and vegetables, a little exercise. Nobody has said boot camp, can't exercise for everyone. None, but there are indoor exercises that you can do, right? That you can do just a bird. You know, you can mark on the spot. There's one called Leslie Samson, indoor exercise, there's 30 minutes, there's half an hour, there's 1 mile, 3 mile, look at that. Because it can really help. You just can't do it, you can touch the ground with your feet. Okay, trust me, you will love me tomorrow. One look at Leslie Samson, they're so fit. I really like those, they move a little bit. And there's also Zumba by Kelly. So all of these are indoor exercises that you can do from the safety of your home. And the only space that you need is where you stand. Everyone has that space. You can stand in the square. That's the only space you need to be running around. One space, not divide space. So again, that's how we combat. So you screen, nutrition, exercise. Yeah? Mental health. Mental health, I must touch on that. That's one of my specialties. I'm a resident psychiatric business as well. And the way that we cope with things every day, stress can live everything from a rash to a heart. Yeah? Anybody ever worry this level of blood pressure going over the border? Stress. So please manage. Please talk. Please cope. Have a group where you can chat and you can say exactly what's on your mind and get some kind of healing for whatever you're going through. Sometimes just getting on the road to look at, I know I'm now back in South to help to Hollis, to look at the east side of the cross, and I know much here, so I see going up the road because bad driving in Hollis is one thing, but a highway is a whole different ballgame. I say hallelujah every day. Sometimes I sing from Purle straight to Hollis way. Because they need to clear away as they're going up here, and it's like, what's going on with it? The road not moving, and I show the building not moving. So what is the crazy driving about? So I'm getting hoping. But if I don't do that, by the time I reach the road, I'm frustrated, and angry, say some other words in my mind, and raise my own blood pressure going up behind me. So you must find a way. You might say, I smoke, I do that every day. 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. In October, we don't get days off. We work Sunday to Sunday is one of the heaviest months in terms of cancer events. I must touch on the media. Please permit me to touch on prostate cancer. The reason why prostate cancer is so near and dear to me, it's a little heartbreaking too, because men just usually come to the clinic when watermelon and fluff. Yeah? Pain so bad they can't spell the name. That is when they come to the clinic, they can barely walk. Please, again, prostate screening is recommended for males over 40. So you start to do the PSA, which we call the prostate-specific antigen, which is a blood test, because no man in Trinidad to be able to the infamous digital rectal exam. Right? That's the next criminal after gasping, DRE, digital rectal exam. Remember, guys, it's a diagnostic test that can save your life. It's once a year. Because we are fearfully and wonderfully. Sometimes when I get back a PSA report, you find the range is from 0 to 4. So if you see somebody with a 7 and that thing with prostate cancer, and it happens. It happened at my clinic that 2 gentlemen came and the blood reading 0 to 4 is the max, as in normal reading, and they came back at a 7. She's like, what did you do? You went to ride bike, you went to play football. And he said, no, when we did the digital rectal exam, what we normally feel for is this texture here, right? Because it's a older chip over and this is normally the texture. If we feel smoothness, there's an enlargement. If we feel nodules, we have a problem. It's not have a problem if we feel nodules, like knuckles. So that's the reason for the test. The 2 main purposes or functions of the prostate gland is to provide, the substance that we see in semen as well as to give sperm motility. So it has nothing to do with having an erection. And that's one of the main counseling and myths and misconceptions that I have to put up in my clinic every day to convince the guys to have the test done. But remember, the prostate-specific antigen, as you hit 40, start doing it every year. Just for us females over 40, have your mammograms on a yearly basis. Mammograms and breast ultrasounds. As you know, again, you don't know what the future holds, and things could change. And sometimes you have no abnormalities at all. You're asymptomatic, but we call it screening mammograms. Yeah, because you don't have to wait for a sign or a symptom to get screened. We advise that once you've got 40 years, that you start with screening. So when you make a pledge today to have your screening done. Alright, one of the other things is I'm seeing this room, persons saying after going to menopause or for persons who have hysterectomy, that they need not do reproductive screening. What I'm seeing now is persons 60 and over coming down with something called endometrial cancer, which is the lining. So the reproductive system is the vagina, the cervix, the womb, the uterus, and there's a lining that separates the reproductive system from the abdominal system, that lining. So if you've had hysterectomy, there's something called a ball smear, right? It's the same procedure like the pap smear where we use the speculum to examine the cavity. So sometimes with hysterectomy, some persons remove the ovaries and the womb, and it's still not the cervix, but it's still called a hysterectomy. But if you sign for 30 years away, remember if it's a total abdominal hysterectomy, or partial that you're happy with it, they used to specify. So sometimes when we go in, it's that you told me you did a hysterectomy, but I'm seeing the cervix. So ladies, there's something, if you've had hysterectomy, called a ball smear. Please have smears. If, again, the comfort, there's something called an abdo-pelvic ultrasound, where you look at the organs in the abdominal region, kidneys, spleen, liver, large intestine, small intestines, and you also have a view of the reproductive organs. So if the internal examinations are too invasive, you can do the external ones. So please have that conversation and add that to your repertoire. Because cervical cancer, we can do the examination called a pap smear. But as we get older, remember the hormones will fluctuate and we will have to visualize what's going on from a different level. So add abdo-pelvic ultrasound to that as well. So I'm really happy that I got the chance to have this conversation, and anyone requiring any further information, My on-call cell is 384-2540. So if you want to book appointments, please feel free to send me a message or a WhatsApp. And sometimes there will be conversation happens after the conversation, that's okay. Where you want to ask more intimate personal questions, you can reach out to me as well. Alright, remember I'm in transit, so once you send me a message as I reach home, I will respond. So we've touched on breast cancer, what it is, what we can do. We've touched on prostate cancer, especially for guys over 40, please do blood test. If you're really set against doing the digital rectal exam, I would prefer that you do one rather than none. Cervical persons who are sexually active, please do your pap smears, because if anything changes, this cancer doesn't happen overnight. It takes 5 to 10 years to move from a precancerous lesions to cancer. And of course, endometrial cancer is a growing thing that we are now researching here in Trinidad and Tobago among older women. So again, remember the conversation to have with your doctor, and remember what I said about the hysterectomies. So even though you've had them, you still need to screen. Alright, there are things that are vital and important. So you know, as you're coming down to your more comfortable years, that you have to face this disease called cancer. It's not easy. Alright, but again, prevention is better than cure. Alright, so that again, prevention is better than cure. Thank you very much. Contact 384-2540. Yes, 384-2540. And you can ask Auntie Hella for a number, you can ask Miss Brad, you can ask Auntie Louise for a number, so they will know where to find you. Alright? 384-2540. Sugar Mills Syrup. Alright, so blessings and have a great day. Any questions? This was a great presentation. I just have one question. You mentioned 40 years ago, you see children who also get cancer. So I'm wondering about that age thing. Yes, I started in pediatric oncology in Norfolk. So yes, remember when we are formed and conception takes place and the cells break from the parents, both parents, we don't know at what point that change occurs. Right? Because remember, the egg and the sperm join together to make this human. So we don't know at that point, and we can't do investigations at that level. But what we can do is after we do some testing. And that's why it's important to pay attention to your babies when you bring them home. That's why we had DHBs, nurses that came home after you had babies, to help guide you as a new mom as to how to do the examination. Because remember, baby cannot tell you if they're in pain. I used to love to see my eldest born, but I love when mom, after bath, she would be very well, and I support very well, from head to toe massage. And as grannies as well, because I was premature, so for most of my first few months of life, as my grandmother took care of me, my mom was afraid to hold me. I was so tiny. So again, thanks God for my grandparents, and you see the size of the person that they have now. Because my grandmother told me that I could have fit in the palm of his hands, right? But this is still at worse, right? I'm really thankful to be in that generation where the neighbors advised, the neighbors supported families and parents with babies. And you need to massage from the head to the toe. So what you are looking for facial grimaces, right? So if you look and you rub somewhere, you realize that they twitch. Well, they pull away, but you realize that, okay, I didn't feel this lump here before. So after bath, you get a nice rub down from head to toe. They say you have to close the molar, the head, and all kind of bacchanal. I tell you, I was there. And my great-grandmother was a midwife, right? So I grew up in a nice crop of ancestors that, you know, things imparted and stayed with you. And again, I didn't choose the profession, any profession chose me. because it's not easy. But I thank God for my experiences and my opportunity to have these conversations and to advise. So once you have young babies, that's how you check. You rub them up after every bath because you're looking to see if they squint, if they jump, if they pull away, and then you will know. When you're rubbing here, having pains. So doctor, after bath I was normal premium and they were wincing, crying. So those are the things that will test me. And then we have genetic testing now. So we have persons born into families of cancer. Right here in Trinidad and today, why we don't have family of cancer, I didn't know that. Right? One of my aunts, a cousin, I lost my mom a year ago to have cancer. My aunt before her to have blood cancer, and a young person diagnosed at 32 with breast cancer and then brain cancer. But again, just be careful and watchful. All that I know humanly possible to do, I do for myself as well as advise my siblings. Alright? You cannot cross all your T's and dot your I's. You can't fruity today and be fruity. Right? You can't be fanatical about that, but you must live. So if you know you have circumstances that will warrant to be a little vigilant with it, again, you don't deprive yourselves of the normal comfort, the cheesecake and chocolate. You're not eating a whole cake. You're not only a whole salad with a quarter now back before. And the younger days, I eat a whole salad. And I can eat flour every day, but again, I know it's not something that is good. My breakfast meal now is Quaker oats. And you can supersize it because I'm not going to get breakfast person, but I have heavy mornings. So sometimes you eat and start before I reach the office. So it's good that I have something to sustain me at least from 8 to 11. And that's when Mr. Quaker was coming. And it has been fine. I'm perfect there. And it's so far it's working well in terms of managing blood pressure and blood sugar. And of course, I have to do the same testing that I advise. Charity begins at home. So again, for your question, thank you so much. Okay, so we spoke about breast cancer, cervical cancer, we spoke about prostate cancer, I spoke about having testing even though you've had hysterectomy. One of the things I was telling Sue is that colorectal cancer is now on the rise. Right? Cancer of the colon and rectum, because we are seeing changes in bowel habits. Persons are having bleeding from the rectum. Our diet has changed because now we cook, now we eat everything fried and processed, everything again in moderation. But once you see changes in bowel habits, if you're having abdominal pain, abdominal bloating, again, screening. Over 50, you can do a colonoscopy. And this is where we examine the bowels to see that there's not any blockage or any one test that is made in colorectal cancer, is called intestinal polyps. So these are what we examine when we look at colorectal cancer. So yes, breast cancer affects both males and females. Colorectal cancer, males and females. Prostate cancer, males. Colorectal cancer is the one that's equally common up because persons don't like to look at waste. They don't, whatever you eat, look at what comes up. If you see any bleeding, if you realize it changes in the texture, that is another indication. So let's check it. Right? That's the other thing that I was telling students that is now on the rise. Because I'm doing some health promotion classes and they are advising us that everything that pops up you need to survey which population is being affected, why. More fried food, so we need to go back to the root and the steaming. Try to cut out some of the stew stuff. Watch the seasoning that we put in, natural seasoning, your shadow, your pimento, your garlic, your ginger, and cut out the more processed seasoning. Watch the mystery meats, which is the hot dog and the burgers, and make your own patties at home, you know. The tin foods. Buy your peas and use your pressure cooker. Cut out the tin foods because it's high in preservatives and sodium, which is hidden. Right? Even though you wash out the peas and you're looking too much. So you need to do your real dry foods. So dry foods and prepare your meat. I cook hardly buy food outside. Hardly buy food outside. And I'm moving in for the state those 3 years. Right? But again, be very careful about where you buy, what you buy, and the quality of food, the level of oil and salt. Right? I remember when you're home, someone talks about using the superfoods like your broccoli and stuff. But remember long ago when grandparents went to market and they came home, which wasn't planted home, without any village, they would soak the vegetables in Clorox and this thing with the purple thing, fungus fluid. We still need to do that. Because the same superfoods that are advising is high chemical in terms of the crop. Right? So now it's food safety. You can't be there when they're spraying the crop with chemicals, but when it comes home, you can make sure that it's safe. If no apples, I don't eat foreign fruits. Right? No apples and grapes. I have tamarind, whatever plant you grow here, I eat cocoa. So that's one of the things, because there's a film on the apple and the grapes that if you don't wash it, it can get you sick. Some people who have sensitive blood. Right? So those are just some tips. But please remember that we spoke about the colorectal cancer. And again, bleeding from the rectum, you're losing appetite, you're losing weight, extreme tiredness for no reason, abdominal bloating, back pain. So these are some of the things that can happen that will let you know that something is happening, that I need to visit the doctor. So once you're over 50, we advise that you start with a colonoscopy. Right? But again, have a conversation with your doctor if you are having any of these signs or these symptoms that I just described. I just wanted to sneak that one in. So we did. Yes, David. Question. Good morning. I have concern in that based on testing being done for diseases like this, where urgency and concern for it to be done. Why does it take months before you get for things like this to be done, which is so important? I need a strong coffee to answer that question. But here's my diplomatic answer. My diplomatic, most respectful answer is that's why you get insurance. Because 30 years ago when I trained, all the machines in the hospital was working. Correct. All the hospital machinery, biomedical department was the most functional departments at Hollis Hospital. Now, every Monday morning something breaks down. See the machine scan. So now, that's why we have partnerships. We have partnerships with external partners in health, and one of them is Cancer Society. Because most of the only bad thing is that you have to pay. The cost is quite comparative. Andy?
Yes, Chairman. I am so proud of you. I know it was a baby before you were born.
Bureaucracy, very respectfully. And that's why we need insurance. We need health plans. Yes, and things are missing here and there. Yes. Thank you, Auntie. So, we have partners in health. Right? And sometimes the government cannot provide all the testing, they outsource. But the urgency is my concern, just like yours. I have no control over the time machinery. And not only getting the test. So getting the test is one thing, I have to get 3 months to report. And that is why I decided to, when I came back from the UK, to start to do this forum. Where can I go that the tests are on par? Where there's surgery, there's family planning, there's a Cancer Society. Unfortunately, we do not have a a branch in San Fernando, but there are other partners in health that do radiation mammograms right here in San Fernando and environs. Right? But in the government system, that's why I'm saying the affordability. So you move from the health center to get the problem addressed. When they give you a referral, where the hospital, they have no control over when they will call you for the appointment that could be cancelled. And what benefit have to be one again? So I don't think that we do mammograms again as we used to do them before. So most of the times when we have programs like Scotiabank has a war, Republic Bank has a war, the CIBC has a war, Republic Bank, Rural Bank, all the banks, corporate people, they give us funding to do free testing. So the whole programs from the Cancer Society, because most of our fundraisers, some of these persons, these corporate partners, is to offer testing free or subsidized. Mammograms by Cancer Society is 300. The rest of the summer is 350, and it just went up post-COVID, because before it was 2-something per mammogram and 300 for the rest of the summer. Pap smears are now $100. They were at 150 was 100 before. The prostate screening, the blood test, I think is 150, and the physical exam is $180. And we can get that, but it still has some costs. It's impossible. And when you start to go to the other diagnostic tests now, and even though we refer you, I have to still call to see who I know. Especially in what it's been St. James are more have a little weight. If I need a biopsy for a person who really cannot afford $2,000 to do a breast biopsy, there's a breast clinic. A woman's clinic at St. James, which is National Radiotherapy Center, and they can do it if you again urgency. So I think if I was in universal insurance, because they have unless they prepare to take it from before. But we have to work with the system that we have. Yes, I know we have a lot of constraints, but I can ask the question as to where you can get referred to. And that's the problem with what we have right now in the health system. The urgency and the machinery. Something not there's a disconnect. And as Auntie said, we know that this is bureaucratic. Because before, 1992, everything where I moved, and I was a police general hospital for a very long while. And then I moved and in psychiatry, I moved at St. John's for 8 years, and then I last stint at St. James on the cancer side, on the oncology side, and that's where I moved to the Cancer Society to do management, quality assurance, education, and navigation. Because most of the times this doesn't happen in the health center, it's happening in the hospital. The explanation, where do I go from here, where do I start? They see when something wrong, not before. So I say, okay, my mom died with cancer, but what happens when you're not the age yet to the screen and I say, back in 2 years, but they still don't have conversation. So even I might be under the age to screen, and I have persons who are under 40 with cancer. I'm 23-year-old, my cousin was 32 when she got diagnosed, and that's why we decided to do genetic testing. She was the first person started doing that. Is there? So the conversations are important as well as the information as to where to go from here when we start from there. But again, any information you need, once I can help, I will help navigate. Alright guys, so again, thank you.
You're using the mic.
Everybody was so eager, interested, and
That's it. Mic. Use the mic.
Okay, just a couple things before we move on. One, Loughborough Black Hole is having their bingo on the 25th of November, this month. And being part of the zonal community, it's important that we support each other as much as we can. The other thing is, for our bingo here on the 5th, we would need a few volunteers to assist with confirming numbers and other activities. So I would be glad if people could come forward to volunteer. One of the things we're not very good at is supporting other zones, other groups. We're good at supporting ourselves. But we just need to remember that we are a zonal community. And while others may not as highly populated as us, we still need to support and encourage and share our information. Okay, our next presentation is from Reverend Mark Samuel, who will speak to us on the subject regarding man or men. I'm not sure what is the title. So let's bring him on with a round of applause.
Good Diamonds, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are we doing? Good. All is well? Yes. Yes? Yes. We feeling good this morning? Yes. All right. Rain is falling, but God is doing His work, and we are here to do ours, and together we'll do it wonderfully. Thank you again for the invitation, for allowing me to come and share some thoughts with you as we recognize men. But I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where I'm going with this. Where are they?
On the way.
Where are the
Men.
They're on their way? Or they're on stage? Alright. So those gentlemen who are here, let me see you wave your hands. Alright, I have one, I have two, I have three. That's Mr. Hanson there. I have four, I have five. Sit, alright. Best. That's you. And so, great, that's you, right? Alright, so we have. Let's give our men a round of applause, please. Now, ladies, a little bit better than that, man.
Hey,
Let's give the men a round of applause.
applying to.
Yes. Malik, you go. And they say nothing like that.
We are not the experts.
Alright. It is interesting that I'm here to talk about that because usually I have the conversation with young men, younger than I am. I'm part of an organization that is called the Voice Cement Foundation, which is run with the Massey Foundation. And we deal with what we call rites of passage. And when you hear the term rites of passage, we go back to Africa. Yes, we go back to those tribes where there is a rite of passage, where they will let the young man go out into the wild, and he has to undergo certain tests. Today we call it torture. And if he comes back, he's a man. But if he comes back in a particular way, yes? He has to have some bruises, he has to have some cuts, he has to have some marking on his body to indicate that he went through. Now if he come back with an animal head or something, well yeah, he might be called the king. Alright? So that was their rites of passage. Well, thank God we are not like that today. Right? We're not sending our young men out. We're not sending them out in the wild for them to fend for themselves in a particular way, and if they come back a particular way, then we call them a man. We have moved away from that. In some cultures it's still happening, but not with us here today. So we have this group called the Rites of Passage Voice Cement, where we have conversations with our young men today, now more than ever. Yes? If I can just ask, please, may I have one conversation in the room happening, please? Please. I have one young man. One conversation in the room, please. I give you my respect by coming. Return it to me, please. So, the role of the man in the family is one of the topics we deal with our young men. And when we hear the role of the man in the family, what comes to mind? Get in front, so I'll take it first. When you hear the role of the man in the family, what comes to mind? Health. Alright, good, we're going with health. The role of the man in the family. Just now. The role of the man in the family. Mr. Hanson. Fatherhood. Wonderful. The role of the man in the family. Ray, I'm coming to you. I know a few of the men inside here, so don't hide. Responsibility. So we're going to use the word responsible. He has to be responsible because he has responsibilities. Well done. The role of the man in the family. He must take care of the family. You're hearing these responses, right? Yes. You're listening? Yes. Role of the man in the family. Caregiver.
Great. Share responsibility with the lady.
To share responsibility with the lady. Alright, good. You ain't doing it alone. Alright. You say the same thing. No, you're not going to say the same thing, The role of the man in the family. So he said it, he concurred. A new answer.
Leadership.
leadership. Very good. Give them a round of applause. Leadership, health, care, sharing the responsibility with the lady. I like that response. You want to get away. Right? And being responsible. But I want to add another one to it. Being present. You see, being present, if you're not present, you can't promote good health. If you're not present, you can't share the responsibility. If you're not present, you cannot be held accountable or be responsible. If you are not present, you cannot be the role model that we are calling on our men to be today. And so the role of the man in the family is all of that and even more. Because I have understood that there is no blueprint for the role of the man in the family. Because what I have recognized in my interaction with my menfolk is that we have not really been taught how to be a man.
That's right.
And if we have been taught how to be a man, part of it was taught the wrong way. And sometimes the woman aided in that. Because sometimes the woman defines the role of the man. He must be of a particular height. He must be of a particular color. He must be of a particular build. He must walk a particular way. He must talk a particular way. He must dress. He got to have money. Because as the Calypsonians say, no money, no love. And so that is what we created to do. That's what we pray. And so if that does not happen, if he can't perform,
Party John.
I like the sport play, That is the reality, unfortunately. If he can't provide the money for me, if he can't do this and if he can't do that, well, we don't want him. We don't want that kind of man. I don't want him. Or if it is that you can have a upper hand on him, yes, you want him to. Because he can't get a baby on you, and whatever you say to do, he has to. And unfortunately, that too has become the role of the man in the household. That whatever I say goes. Or else I'll put him out. Because it's I making more money, it's I who minding him, it's I who clothing him, it's I who feeding him. I pay the bills. It's I who carry the child for 9 months. Unfortunately. And so we brought our young men and the ladies sometimes to think that way. So that when a good and decent man comes around, trouble see them. But I'm talking to the men folk. The men folk who are still around and who still has an opportunity to be responsible. Because there is the reality that, as I mentioned before, there was a time when we did not know and we did not have it. But must it prevent us from becoming good? Must it prevent us from taking up our responsibility? Well, because my father was not around me, I really didn't bother about that, you know. Well, I didn't grow up in an abusive home. I did not. Doesn't mean that I will abuse today. I didn't grow up knowing my father. I do not have children of my own. But I love children. And I love people around me. Does it mean that I isolate myself and say, well, I didn't grow up with my father and I didn't know who my father was, and so therefore I will isolate myself? No. Because fortunately, I grew up in a village. We still have the village today, but is the village taking responsibility? Yeah, boy, and that's the breakdown. Yeah, that's the breakdown. You see how quick you all don't shut that down there? That is the breakdown in our society today. Because in the absence of my father, there was my grandfather, there was the godfather, there was the village, there was the uncle, there was the priest that had a hand in doing something, in saying something, in recognizing something. Are we men folk today recognizing that our boys and our young men are failing? Are we doing something today? Well, some of us men folk will say, nah, not me and them fellas today, huh? Because them fellas today different. But do you know that it is a statement of fact that they are different? But in the difference, they need what we still have, and that's love. I have been through this country, Trinidad and Tobago, talking to young men, and that is the main thing that is lacking, is love. And love in how we speak to our young men. How we speak to our young men and what we speak into their lives. Sometimes as parents we love to say, you're just like your father. And we think that that's something good to say. The child may not have understood what his father is like, but we inject it, we infiltrate it, we send it in. Your father, and your father, and your father, and your father. But how about we try to make a new father? So that today when we look at our society, we can call upon our young men to really take responsibility for their actions. That we call on them to be accountable for who they are as an individual first. Unless we we take accountability for who we are as an individual, then we are able to share it out there. But if I'm not taking myself into accountability for what I have said or what I have done, what are we going to expect? Then we will expect what is taking place in our society today. And so I want to encourage us this afternoon, today. Let us try and make a difference in how we are nurturing the minds of our young men. Because I'm sure all of you in here have a direct link to at least one young man. Whether it be your son, your grandson, your nephew, your godson, your neighbor, or even the young man in your church, even the young man in your temple, the young man in your mosque. Wherever that young man is, that you could give an encouraging word to today. And not because I didn't have it means that they should not have it. Because we just reverse it, you know. You know how we just reverse it? I didn't have that when I was growing up, so I'm making sure my child have everything. And we spoil the child. That's how we just reverse it, you know. You didn't grow up with certain things, but you're making sure now your child grew up with that and even more. But the morals, the good morning, the thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, those are the things we have to teach them, so that when we train the child up in the way that he or she may grow, when they get old, they should not depart from it. They should not depart from it. But they will hold on to the values that I was taught to say good morning. I met a little one just the other day, asked me for something and I handed it and I held on to it. And what she did? I said, what is the magic word? I can't blame the child. I can't blame the child, you know. What is the magic word? Thank you. Yeah, you can react with And then sometimes when you tell them, thank you, they don't know, they turn and they tell you you're welcome. In their innocence. But if we train the young man in the way that he should go, he will grow old and he will not depart from it. And I thank God that I am a living testimony of that. That they trained and they formed me. Today they call it abuse, but I get Netflix. Today they call it abuse and they call it child welfare and they call it all kinds of things today. Yes? But in my time it was a song called You Get. Now you can't even watch them. My wife watch them and so. My uncle watching the soap. I said, come here, sit down there. Mommy, uncle, tell her to sit down. And sometimes I had to go with prayer. Hush. I tell him to sit down there. I talk. You could deal with it later. In my presence. But you have to do it with love at the same time. Because our children today, our young men today, don't know what is genuine. And sometimes as the men folk, we have this phobia that if we love the male, we gay. Unfortunately. So if you love your son, that means you're gay? No. You love your son to let him know what it means to love. So that when he loves properly. He would not love by the raising of a hand. He would not love by the raising of his voice. He would not love by kicking, or today by stabbing, or by shooting. Because that's how they love today. I love you that nobody will have you. That's how I love you today. But that is not how we were taught to love. Because the scripture tells us, beloved, let us love, for love is God. And we were taught that for God so loved the world, He gave. How many of us are giving our sons to God? That we love them so much that we give them to God. Not for all their ministry, no. But we give our young men to God. So that God can do what only God can do. Because I understand at that point in time, parents, it would be difficult with the boys. You know, mother only boy child, I was trouble, I was plenty trouble. I used to get plenty trouble, I used to get plenty trouble. I always tell people that. That's why the Lord grabbed me and said, look, man, be a priest. You get into too much trouble. I used to get plenty trouble. All the thing I was all the time. Huh? I was a miserable, handsome fellow. One of my grandmothers always used to say, don't take him on, you know. He playing thing for all the day, that devil inside there, you know. All they pray for me. But there was love. They taught us how to love. And we too must teach the young men how to love. Love gently. Love unforgivingly. Love boldly. Love bravely. Love unconditionally. So that when we teach them to love, just like my brother said, they are able to share the responsibility. But if we don't do that, somebody owns it. And they own it in the wrong way. I am going to continue to do the work that God has asked of me to do. As long as I can do it, I will continue to speak to the young men in this country. Recently, we finished a program in Never Dirty Over. There are some wonderful young men, you know. Let me tell you, some wonderful young men, you know. Brilliant, ready to do something. But love is lacking. And that is why the prison is getting full with our young men. It's the absence of love. And not only from a mother, but even from a father. So I want to encourage us men folk. You will have your grandson, you will have your son. You have a son, eh? You have a son. You have a grandson? No. You have a son? Son? You have a grandson? Son? You have a son? Boys? No, no boys. No boys. must have a boy around you, man. Yeah, you have a son. 2 boys. And 4 grandsons. Well, that is it for you. Your knees just touch you sometimes, huh? Yes? I want to encourage us. When you go home, men, if they're in your same house, call them and tell them you love them. If they're a phone call away, call them and tell them, I love you. And then they ask you, Daddy, what happened? Grandpa, what happened? Tell them that is what I called to tell you. I love you. Because it is okay for the man to say, I love you. We say, I love you to get something else. Bless you. Right? We use I love you to get our way for a time, for a moment of pleasure. What about raising our young men with those 3 words? I love you. And mothers, continue to tell us that you love us. Because when you teach us how to love, we will know how to love. When you teach us how to love, we too will know how to love. And I know you all have something special, especially for the boy children. Or you have something special, and go say to your great grandson, trouble. I lived it, that's why I can say it. You couldn't come between my grandmother and your grandpick me. Not this grandson. I could turn the house upside down, leave him alone. So continue to love us, so that we can grow up to be the responsible and right-thinking men that is needed now more than ever in this country. The right, responsible thinking young man that is needed now more than ever in this world. So that when next we have men coming to us, we have good men. And I close off by asking you the question. My mentor will ask us the question, and we have asked it at every program we go to. And the question is, when you see a group of young men coming towards you, what do you think?
We agree. Not massage, rugby. Not massage. Not massage.
We have an opportunity to change that.
Not massage.
That when next we see a group of young men coming toward us, it's because they're coming for love. Listen, 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 listen. Hear what I'm saying. Don't hear me with your ears alone. Hear what I am saying. The next time we look upon our young men and we see them, God revealed wisdom to those who seek it. So seek wisdom in what I have just told you. That when next you see a group of young men, you will pray for them. that you wouldn't outright say, look at them again. Because that's what we tend to do. Watch them. Watch. Now you passing, going away, and you just happen to see them. You don't know where they're going, you don't know what they're doing. But you cast the aspersion. Watch them again, there, watch. So much I think the government have watched them, they just sit up there. They might be trying to figure out how to start. They're trying to figure out what's going on, boy. You alright today? Are you hungry to buy? They're probably trying to figure that out. And we say, watch them. So that is why I'm saying when next you see, say a prayer for them. Because love is not only embracing it. Love also is about how we think about one another. Because I could have walked in this room and had a total different thinking. And said, don't invite me here again. But I came here with a purpose. To deliver. What God has asked me to deliver. And as I leave, I pray that whatever you heard today, that it will take root in your heart, so that we can continue to foster the lives of our young men, the young boys, that they grow up to be right, thinking, responsible men to build a better Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the world all over. May God continue to bless us all.
Thank you so much, Reverend Mark. May I say Reverend Mark? I think by now we should be an honorary captain for again, a wonderful review. Again, God just keeping you in His grace, and I trust that He will keep you there always. Thank you for giving me the way.
We all know Mama Sandy, don't we?
Yeah. She right?
And you know that she is here.
Yes. She does.
And we know that we've written lots of good wishes to her. But I think she just wanted to respond to that in a quick way.
Yes, sir. He's going by her. She's going after us.
After that, we'll ask the men to perhaps come on stage so that they could be celebrated.
I am Mama Sandy, as Mr. Ryan said, and I thank you all for your prayers and your wishes and everything. My hope was invaded by 3 young men. Today is 2 months since that happened. So you see my hands are covered here. The fingers are healing very well, but I don't want it to get infected, so that's why it's covered. But I am no longer angry with those young men. Someone who wanted to go and take their neck for harming me, I asked them not to. So you say, yeah, you encouraging them to go and do somebody else. But after me, they did go by several people and had a home invasion. But one of them got killed in. I am no longer angry with them. I pray for them. I pray for them.
they will be changed from their wicked ways. One mother came and she apologized to me for what her son did. My sister was angry with me for taking the apology, but I said she didn't have to do it because she lived just a little way from where I live. And I know the young man. He was the one who had the purpose. Yes, and he's 16 years old. But the thing is, I went back to visit my home because I'm not there. I have a friend recuperating. And I went to visit my home 2 weeks ago. And 3 little boys, one is 9 and one is 10, they ran up to me and they hugged me and they apologized for what the boys did to me. Before I go further, in my community, I am not a girl operating what we call operator earth school. So where we treat with the children in the community, and we mostly have young boys within the community where we teach them art and craft and things to improve their skills, all right? Because in the community during COVID, a lot of children were home. So I said, let us try and help the children, because they were the parents, and the parents not sending them to school even after COVID when school was reopened. So we decided to take these little children and visit them to improve, their reading skills and so. So anyway, these 2 young boys, these 2 little boys they attended classes. So I went home and they came to me and they hugged me up and they said, we miss you, Auntie Mom, we miss you. And they came and said, everybody apologized. So I was moving around, looking around the yard to see it. So when I look for them, I see them in the bedroom. What you want to do here? Auntie Mom, we miss this house. Next thing I see, one with a broom, sweeping out my bedroom, and another one take another broom and he's sweeping out the living room. And then they went for a mop, and they mopped, they talked about the kitchen. So, I said, well, I have to talk about this here as you were talking about the young men. And then they hugged me and I had to tell them that I love them, Yeah, say, Auntie Mom, we miss you, we miss this house and so. Because the children would come, I had a niece who, she does watercraft. So she used to teach them watercraft. And then I would feed them and I would, treat them as my sons, because I don't have any sons, I have one daughter. So I love these little boys. I have a nephew too, he lives abroad, and I will always tell him I love you. And he would say, yes, I love you too, Auntie Mom, because his mother abandoned him. So, so I had to talk about this as you were talking about the young men. I had to talk about this. Thanks for listening. Reminded me, I should have said that I am American descendant.
Yeah.
And I'm the president of American Heritage Foundation in my community. And just before this happened, I was honored and given the merit of honor for community work within the community. Yes?
Thank you, Martha. God bless you. The men in the audience, are we able to go on stage? Come on, man. Man up and be counted.
Where you going?
I never realized so many men. So, you're going to see what's stage right now.
Okay, well, let me give you the last one to go.
Alone Okay, gentlemen, thank you. You can leave now.
Before Mr. Ryan close the door, I want to plug Lady Cochoy Center Gas Purle is having a tea party at this venue on the 19th of November from 2 to 6 p.m. It's themed Barbie. Remember that Barbie film? So we are inviting all to dress in their lovely pinks and pastel colors. The price is $150. Leno Davy sits at the door. Leno has tickets. We invite you to come and to bring your youngsters, your daughters and your granddaughters dressed in their Barbie colors. It should be an entertaining evening. So we are asking for your support. If you can, if you have the $150, you can buy it. If not, support us in some way. We would appreciate it. Thank you very much. We have on our post, we have already sent a picture of the event, but I can resend it out at the end of this meeting. The 19th of November, 2 to 6 p.m. at this venue. And we have a surprise guest artist, as I'm not at liberty to give you his or her name right now.
Alright. Pleasantville, this one.
One last announcement, Nurse Sherma left some books, some little handouts for on breast cancer and what she has spoken, and you can collect them at the door on your way out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. So, the meeting is now officially over. And I see all you like are ready to go anywhere. I never see people so comfortable in a long while. Nobody wants to leave. But because of the rain, anyhow, thank you for coming, and we will be serenading out.
Alright. As the master ceremony says, everybody seems to be quite comfortable. But I want you all to get uncomfortable with this number. I have been asked to serenade you women. Right? So here goes. Those who know the song, but sing along. Mr. Clifton. Yeah.